I want to present to you what I'm seeing right now on the teacher end of this, which I think is really a powerful tool here. So what happens is at any given time, I can figure out exactly what everybody's doing in this presentation. So if you take a look here at my screen, you should be able to see this summary right here, correct? What I can see is that I've got one person, which is me on slide 9. I've got one person here on slide 12. I have one person here on slide 15. And what I could do right now is I can hit pause. And if you look at your screen right now, if you look at your activity, you can see you can't do anything anymore. I've now shut it down. So if I wanted to call my class back, I can hit pause, I can talk to everybody, and I can say exactly what we should be working on. Another thing I want to show you is I'm going to do restrictions. So for example, I'm going to force everyone to look only at slide 14. And what you'll see is that I've switched it so no matter what slide you were on, now we're all on slide 14. And I can change this at any given time. I'd like everyone to flip to slide 16 for a second. So what you'll notice right now is that slide 16 is blank. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is go back to slide 15 for a moment. I want you to notice that it's a multiple choice question. Pick an answer, explain your thinking, and then hit submit. Now we'll look at my screen for a second. What I can see is which answers you've picked and what proportion. And I can also see what you wrote down as your answers. And I'm getting this information in real time. Now, the answer is equal force. Everyone needs to pick that because until you get the correct answer, it's not going to let you see anything on slide 16. So once you've got the correct answer, go to slide 16 and take a look at it again. Now, when you look at slide 16, it's now full of stuff. So what I had to do is I couldn't let those students just rush ahead. They had to understand what was on slide 15. So they can succeed at slide 16. Now, another thing you can do is if you look on slide 16 is you can write out an answer. And what you're going to do is in that case, if you try to write a number or a word, it won't work because it's looking for a number value. So you can hit the number value and it shares it with the class so we can start to have a discussion about this. This is just another tool that we could have. And you can also see on your screen that you can see what the other student responses are. So I can see, for example, Anna right now has typed something into the box, but she hasn't hit shared class with me. Whereas Alistar right now has typed in a number and said share with the class. I want everyone to see slide 21. And now yet again, you can take a look at your screen. And what you can see is this would be a nice check-in if you want to figure out how students are feeling. So you can sort of drag that battery around to figure out what quadrant you're in right now. And while you're doing this, you can see on my screen, the teacher screen, I'm seeing everybody's responses in real time. So as a teacher, I can always gauge how the students are feeling as a class. So they're popping up as we go. And you can see as you're feeling more and more negative, the color is changing. The last thing I'd like to highlight for everybody is I'm going to show that you can have self-checking questions. And what you can see with any of these questions, you can flip around with them. Go ahead and type in the answers. These are just a couple different formats, and it's going to tell you whether you've got it correct or incorrect. So yet again, you can see on here, I've got answers for number 1. I can see 5 of you are on slide 24, and 1 of you is on slide 25. So now the students know not to move forward because they're getting that feedback automatically. So now as a teacher, if I can see students are stuck, I can pull everyone aside and say, okay, let's talk about this. What's the problem? The next 3 are numbers. So 24 is just a number. 25 is just a number. 26 is a chart. So if I could ask everybody to go to slide 26, yet again, we're going to see what it looks like when people fill out the chart. It's not quite as clear cut to us as teachers, but it is still checking their work. So you can see Robin's already started to fill in something on her chart. So if I wanted to know how she was doing specifically, I can click on her and I can watch her as her answers are changing. Now, it doesn't just have to be numbers. You can do checks with words. You can do checks with multiple choice. Last thing I want to highlight to everybody is if you could go to slide 27, is asking you to match up charts, like so different cards. So you sort of have to push them all together. So what you need to do is take any 3 cards and match them. So you can see on my screen above me, you can see that I matched 3 together and they're wrong. Chloe right now has 2 together that are correct and she's got green. So I can see where her understanding is versus other people's. So what I really like about this is you can design the slides in any way you want. And as a teacher, we're watching all the time. So we know exactly what the problems are as they go.
What's the learning curve on this? Building it? How much time does it take, say, to build a page like this one, for example?
I'm going to really quickly create a activity, okay? And I'll call this test. So this is what it looks like when I'm trying to create a screen, and I can make it as dynamic as I want. If I want to put a note, I can put a note. I want to have a student response. I've now got a student response box. If I want to have a table that they fill out, I just put in a table and that's drag and drop. I'll put H there, I'll put W there, and I'll put 2, 4, 6. Hello. And what you can see is I've now created a slide that quickly. The programming's a little bit trickier, and the code all just goes right here. And I've just been copying and pasting. And everyone that puts out Desmos, their code is just right there. Like, it's easy. All you have to do is make a copy, and then they're totally editable.
If you're playing around on teacher.desmos.com, like in the custom activity section, you can actually search all of the activities that have been created that are listed as public. There's a ton that are already there in existence. Like, my advice would be, don't try to always start from scratch yourself. Like, you'll spend so much time. Search for what's there. You can steal slides, like individual slides. So if you like bits and pieces from different ones, steal from the bits and pieces and mash it together to be how you want it or what's going to work for you.
Literally, that's what I did with this presentation. Is Robin had 3 presentations, and I literally copied one slide, pasted in our presentation, copy, pasted, copy, like 2 clicks.